For this, I'm just setting up my soldering gun to about 500-ish degrees, and we're going to see if we can get this this connection right here. So this is, I guess I'll show you this. This is the connection that needs to be reestablished. This wire coming off of the ground for the input jack. This goes out to the input jack. It's supposed to be connected here, and it just kind of wiggled free a second ago. So we're going to have to pull some solder off of this and reconnect it with some fresh solder. And I don't necessarily want to like totally deconnect the wire. You know, I think if I was planning on just using this the way it is for the rest of time, I would probably just clip this wire off and redo both of these with fresh wire. However, we're just trying to get it playable, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. I think in a future video, I'm going to just redo all of this. It's going to be fresh pickups, fresh pots, and everything. So I'm really just trying to show you the quickest way to getting it playable. I'm just touching this to the pot to see if it, there we go, lighting. See if it'll go. You just have to hold it there for a little bit, and it's 500 degrees, but it takes a second. So there you can see the solder starting to come apart. So we have a pretty good temperature. Really the next step is to use this stuff. So this is the no clean wick or solder wick. So it's gonna pull the solder off of the joint that we're trying to replace the connection of. And you can see I have these gloves on, I put eyeglasses on, I put a mask on. And the purpose for that is because soldering releases vapors, and those vapors slash smoke are not good to breathe and not good to get in your eyes. And this stuff has the flux. There's this stuff called flux that's on it. And that flux helps move the molten solder onto this instead of on the thing that it currently is. And if you touch this with your fingers, you're gonna get all the flux on your fingers and not leave it on the braid. So that's why I put these gloves on, because I don't want that flux getting on my fingers. I want it to stay on there. But I'm also still gonna need to manipulate this braid of copper, which is really all this is a braid of copper and some flux that's on it. So I'm gonna cut a fresh piece here. So I have a little bit that's left on there, and the rest of it just fine. I have my soldering gun heated up, and what I'm going to do is heat up this joint first so it's warm, and I know the solder is going to, be able to come off it, and then I'm going to heat up this. Go ahead and do that. So I can see the solder is melted, now, and then I'm going to heat this up over top of it. So I've just placed the braid right on top of where the joint is, and I can see the solder literally coming off of it. Alright, so you can see I've just added a lot of solder to this wick rather than on this connection. I'll do a little close up here for you in a second. Alright, and just like that, this is pretty much entirely free of solder. You can see there's some daylight coming through there. Now there's this this wire that comes up that I might have to deal with in order to feed this this wire through again. But the next thing for right now is we're going to tin this wire.